All right, I'm going to debunk this argument real quick because people have this mindset that just because a film is dark means it's not going to have any humor, it's not going to have any light moments, it's going to be real depressing and what have you. This is the thing I hear on the internet, and it doesn't make quite a bit of sense at all. In fact, if a film is a little bit darker or takes itself a little bit seriously, it doesn't mean it's not going to have any humor in it. It just doesn't. I can't I cannot wrap my mind around this mentality. I can't. I hear this all over the internet. Oh, this film is too dark. Oh man, this film's going to be dark. It's going to suck. Or I want this film to be fun. It's too dark. I don't want it to be Dark Knight or Man of Steel. I'm like, people, just because it's a little bit dark does not mean it's not going to have any humor in it. It's not. I'm going to give you a prime example. The Dark Knight Rises has more humor than the previous two movies. It has humor. Dark Knight Rises, yes. Yes, there is some humor to it. Is it a funny movie? Is it a comedy? No, it's not a comedy. But at the same time, there's some jokes in the films. There are some jokes. There are some funny moments. Is it a comedy? No. Does it suck? No. I'm going to give you another recent example. The X-Men First Class movies. You know, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past. Is it a serious movie? Yes. Does it have humor? Yes. Is it depressing? No. And that's just the thing that boggles my mind. It's like people do not want good writing. People want dumb comedy movies. I'm like, don't get me wrong. There's some films or comic book films that are meant to be comedies. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy. That is meant to be a comedy. Okay. But the Fantastic Four can work as a serious movie. It can. But at the same time, it's not going to have zero humor in it. It could have humor in it. It could. I just don't get this mentality. People do not think sometimes. People just do not think. They think that a movie has to be comedy and that dark movies are terrible. I'm like, no. 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 Dark movies do have comedies. A darker tone movie, there's some humor in it. There is. But no, of course, but no. It's this mentality. People think a movie with a darker tone does not have any comedy. They think there is zero comedy in there. No, there is some comedy in there. Might not be a lot of comedy, but there is some comedy. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Goddamn, The Dark Knight had comedy. The Joker, messing around with the thugs. Some of it is considered a little bit of comedy there. The conversation Alfred had with Bruce Wayne about the Batman, that was a little bit funny. Some people might not have found it funny, but I thought it was. There's always some humor in darker films. I just don't get this mentality. Now, just because it's dark, is it always good? No. Just because it's funny and it's fun doesn't mean it's good? No. Not all the time. It's just this mentality. Good night. Listen. Every comic book film cannot be The Dark Knight. Every comic book film cannot be Avengers. There's something called a balance. If you have a balance, good. Captain America the Winter Soldier is not depressing or dark, but it's serious and fun. Captain America did it correctly. Now, I love the Avengers myself. I do. I like the movie. But at the same time, there are some flaws in the film. Even though the jokes are good, they get old very fast. I'm sorry, they do. In my opinion, the jokes do get old. When that's all you have, then you figure out, this movie's not as good as people are making it out to be. It's fun, but it's not as good as they're making it out to be. It ain't the greatest thing in the world, but it's still a good film, though. Just saying. So, damn, I'm stuttering again. So, overall, just because the film is dark does not mean it's going to be depressing. Okay? There's a possibility that the film could have 30% of humor in it. But it's just, the story is more serious. Just saying. That's it, and I'm out. Peace.